Just to get your creative juices flowing, that'd be fun to take a look at a couple more images where we look at the relationship between color temperature and vibrance and saturation. All right, well, let's work on this file here titled Sunrise. Press the D key to go to the Develop module. Now what we can do is we know that we can increase the vibrance in order to have more color variety. What happens with this particular image is that while that's interesting on the ocean, it's kind of overdoing the sun a bit. And as we start to analyze a photograph, we realize there's some blues here. If you can ever combine blue and yellow or orange together, it looks phenomenal, right? So with our color temperature slider, all that I'm going to do is swing this over a bit, and now we have a much more interesting photograph. Again, as a result of this vibrance increase here. So here is without it, here's with it. That ocean looks a little bit more interesting, and even a touch of saturation. Here's our before, and then our after. So we can start to bring out colors in a unique way by using these sliders together. Let's take a look at one more example. I'll press the G key to go to the grid view mode. Then I'm going to select the miscellaneous folder here. And what I want to do is I want to click on one of these photographs that was captured when there was a fire in the town where I live. I'm going to work on this last photograph, which is of these two birds flying with these huge smoke clouds. It was quite stunning and even shocking. But what I want to do is I want to bring out some colors in this image. So I'll press the D key to go to the Develop module. And obviously what I'm doing here is trying to get you to be a little bit more creative, right? So what I can, of course, do is increase my vibrance and I'll have more color variety. Yet as I do that, one of the things that I may notice, or you may notice, is there's a little bit of blue in here. Okay, well again, it's that same idea. Well, what if I work with my color temperature and I bring out some of those blues? In this case now, with that vibrant and that color temperature change, I now have something much, much different. I can even add a little bit of red there, or I can swing this back one way or another in order to find the sweet spot with the image. All right, well, here is our before and then our after. The whole point here is, again, just to begin to think about how you can use these tools perhaps in some creative ways. Now the trick is not all images will work like this, but what will work is beginning to play with these controls and see how the relationship between color temperature and tint and vibrance and saturation work together in order to create some images. And again, in this case, this is more of a painting than it is an actual image. But I couldn't have accomplished this color that quickly, really without tapping into these controls. So I think the whole point of this movie is experiment. Have some fun. Make some subjective edits and see what you can do in order to come up with some creative color. The other side of the spectrum is there are certain times where you want accurate color, right? And in those situations, you're going to use these controls in much more subtle ways. Yet what we need to do as photographers is we need to learn how to do both. Because certain situations really ask us to push something one direction. Other situations, we need to be a little bit more accurate or correct. All right, well, that wraps up our conversation about vibrance, saturation, and color temperature.